There's been a lot of attention by real estate players to actually focus a lot of investment on this central region, or you can call it Kampala metropolitan area, to be specific. Now, today we have entrepreneurs that have seen opportunity beyond the confines of Central, and today we're in Mbarara.
Amity Realtors, born at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic hit the country hard, leaving businesses in shambles, employees sent home, and families going hungry. One Herbert Tushabe had to think things hard and turn things around. He explains how he made Amity come into existence.
I ran Amity Realtors Limited, and how we started was after we failed to make it in education, after the schools were closed, and we had to think of how to survive during the time of COVID. And an idea of doing real estate kicked in. Initially, because I did not have money, I had to start as a broker. So I could act as a go-between these two people. Around the area where I stay, there were estates that were being sold, land, pieces of plots of land, and I knew the owners. So I used my social media platform to make sure that I take pictures and I put them up for people to see. And people could call me to ask me about those plots. And I saw it working. Later, I moved to Mbarara town, where I identified a few investors who were already in the industry to understand more of how that business is done. One of the estate developers I approached had bigger estate of over 100 acres. And I approached them. They gave me permission to sell their land on their behalf.
As he saw gold where he did not sow, Herbert had to think things through so fast and made it so perfect by use of drones and social media.
Having an IT background, I decided to bring in my innovation to digitize these products so that I get people to buy. Get drones, take nice pictures, and then put on my social media platform. Now I had an office, I was formalized, I was using my skills, an educated person, having an IT background. I had to fuse this into real estate in Mbarara, which was not there. We started with no money, but it's through this experience, through this benchmark that gave us courage to come in an informed way to start Amity. After learning all those problems, the challenges clients were facing, the challenges investors were facing when they are buying land, and the problems people were facing. Now, Amity comes with solutions to this. It comes with solutions to address this problem.
To entrench his business and income more, Herbert stretched his target to even low-income earners, availing them with affordable prices for plots after taking his clients through a brief of what the land is for and doing site visits.
We go out, look for bigger chunks of land, subdivide it, and bring it to people in an affordable way. Affordable is in two ways. Affordable in the cost of a plot. We run from 3 million upwards. And we understood through the benchmarks that the people that we serve don't have a lot of money. And most of the people that we were serving, that our niche was serving, are people low-income earners. And we decided that we looked at them, they range between 3 and 8 million. And that is what exactly we serve. And also we added a payment plan that can make them be able to pay this land without necessarily getting a loan.
This is what most of his competitors did not do and are not doing.
Before we came into this industry, Mbarara had a lot of brokers that were operating informally. Even the investors were operating informally. And we realized that there was need for this sector to be formalized in a way that people needed to trust this industry, because this business is so sensitive. We are involved in land. land has issues. We wanted to formalize where people can come, find us in an office, do presentations. After presentations, we take them to land, they visit the sites, and they decide whether they like it or they don't.
To perfect it more, Herbert put a critical look into the establishment of a well-structured team of experts, each in a field he knows best.
In formation of Amity, when we set up offices, to solidify the company, we decided to create a team because you cannot do everything alone. So we decided to team up with the marketing team and other members of our team.
But what really sets Amity Realtors apart from the rest?
We give out free information about land and what is involved in land by specialists on Twitter. That is how we have been able to be set apart. Also, our gratitude, we give out to our customers. We have had several ways of giving back to our customers, and this to us seems to be the way we have set a niche amongst other players.
Well, it's that part of the year, end of the year, December, where some of us sit down and do a soul searching to see whether we've been able to meet our resolutions at the beginning. Some have been met, some have not been met. Now, today we try again to share with you tips on how you can make money, because most of these resolutions are actually anchored on what we earn and how we make the money.
Now, those who want to raise money from the markets, pension funds are growing all over the world. We've seen the rapid rise of NSSF assets in Uganda, but that is happening all over Africa. And these pension funds need to be deployed meaningfully. Now, the biggest user of pension fund money at the moment is governments. But the private sector also has some space to play in there. Now, if companies organize themselves well, we call it corporate governance, but it's essentially just being professional in the way they manage their operations. If they keep their records well, they've got no liabilities, either litigations or statutory liabilities like tax liabilities that are going to affect their value. They're in a good position to be able to issue a prospectus or to issue an information memorandum privately or publicly for debt or equity to raise money. And many times we've seen that most of these corporate bonds that are issued, you don't typically find more than 25 or 30 investors. So technically they're private placements. And that is one easy way in which these bonds can be used to raise money from pension funds. So companies just need to organize themselves. The biggest security that most investors have in their ability to get back a return on the investment is how well the company is managed. And that is why we pay a lot of attention to the governance of companies. So if companies could understand that this is really a license to operate, or a license or an ability to be able to raise quite a bit of money, they will pay a lot more attention.
Well, it's not every day that you find someone who lends you money, but also gives you the platform through which you can service your loan or pay your workers in your business. And our tech entrepreneur today is doing exactly that.
Sophi Cash is an acronym of Zeal of Financial Independence. As a company, we are trying to promote that. Our end goal is actually to break Africa's 30-payday cycle. We believe that it is so outdated because people have emergencies every day that cannot wait for 30 days. In the developed world, people get paid as soon as they clock out of work. People get paid as early as a day. People get paid once a week. People get paid twice a month. So we believe that's the direction that Africa needs to take. To start Sophi Cash came from friends and family who always came to me asking me to help them because they hadn't been paid yet, because they were waiting for payday. So I realized that there's a gap between emergencies and payday. So people always have emergencies and they need those emergencies to be bridged to payday. So that's the reason as to why, or that's what we are doing at Sophi Cash. We are bridging employees' emergencies and the payday. people might not realize how impactful the 30 per day is, but from research that we've done, first of all, when people have emergencies, I'm talking about financial emergencies, it means sometimes those emergencies actually are life-threatening emergencies, which means if they don't have that money, maybe they'll lose a life. I'm sure you know of a person who died for some reason or another, or maybe because they weren't able to access money, maybe to buy medicine, maybe to pay for a bill on time, maybe for any reason, okay? Now, these are personal impacts, but it goes deeper when people are not able to spend when they need to spend. Businesses hurt because people are not buying from them, and who knows, maybe the business will close down because it has not been able to meet its business targets. We launched Sophi Cash about, it's coming to 2 months now. It was at the time when businesses were coming from the pandemic, and most of them had employees who had salary arrears, and some didn't even have enough money to pay for their employees. So what our technology is doing is that we are enabling these businesses to pay their employees right on time or even in advance, and then the business pays us back when they have the money. Our turnaround is about 30 days. So we help the businesses to pay their employees in advance, or we help the employees access their earned wages early before 30 days. So one of the challenges that we are actually having is trying to convince employers the benefits of having employees paid right on time or even ahead of time, because most of them don't realize that when these employees come to work, when they have something that is challenging them financially, they're not going to be focused to work, they're not going to be productive, and it does affect them as a business. So we are trying to tell these businesses that, hey, this is a solution that will help you to motivate or to keep your employees motivated, and then you can demand for results. Actually, businesses are waking up to realize and to learn how technology facilitates or helps them to run their businesses efficiently. For example, for our product, if people didn't have to use our product, it means, for example, if an employee had an emergency, they would have, if an emergency happened while they're still at home, they have to come to work, put in a salary advance request on paper, and then take it to be signed off, and then take it to whoever that has to give them the money. If the person doesn't have the money, they have to go to the bank to pick the money, then come and give them the money. What benefits does our technology bring? Wherever you are, 24/7, you just log into the app, put in that request. You don't have to send in any paperwork. You don't have to do anything. You just have to put in the request. Your employer will approve it, and then you get the money instantly. That is efficiency. That you don't have to worry about tracking, or you don't have to worry about paper traces. You don't have to worry about so many things. Basically, it improves the efficiency of managing and running businesses. 3, 4, 5 years from now, we believe we would have walked at least a quarter of that journey, would have initiated the conversations to break this cycle. There are, of course, so many challenges that are coming with this. People think that maybe we're going to encourage bad spending habits. But before we talk about bad spending habits, do people even have the money we are talking about spending? Okay? Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Actually, some people live in deficit, like month to month. So we want to break that. After breaking that, then we can talk about educating people on how to use money, on how to handle money, how to save, how to plan and track for their money.
That's all we had for you this evening. Thank you for being part of the show. I've been your host, Charles Boji. Now, we'd like to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel for these and more stories. But most importantly, we'd like to get your comments, questions, and suggestions. Like we always say, business is a going concern. It never ceases. Let's keep going. Until next time, have a good evening. God bless.